Greetings, listeners. We here at the Psychic Connection return to you with insights into the mysterious spirits of this wandering tavern. Have you found yourself vexed by an unruly paranormal guest? Unexpected spiritual visitors wreaking havoc on your aerial honeymoon?
Whether you are just dropping in, stopping for the night, or planning an extended stay, a Spirit Ward kit will help you keep the resident ghosts of the Wandering Tavern at bay.
Case Spirit Wards are perfect for those one-night getaways when you're tired of bumps in the night, rendering you invisible to spirits for up to 24 hours. While long-lasting Spirit Wards will keep you and yours safe and sound for up to a year.
Your Spirit Ward kit comes with a strip of fabric, a drawing utensil, and writing medium to inscribe the warding runes, as well as holy water to finalize the ward once you imbue your arcana for protection. Remember, the more spell slots that you expend, the longer your ward will last.
Our operators are standing by. Use your sending stone now and receive immediate spiritual guidance.
The Wandering Tavern is a system-agnostic floating TTRPG setting with optional D&D 5e stats included, packed full of plot hooks, mysteries, threats, and everything you need for a campaign. The Wandering Tavern is the perfect unique pit stop for your players to visit, take a load off, and delve into a whole new sort of adventure. Check out the Wandering Tavern Kickstarter and support the Luck and Chaos podcast by using our custom referral link to make your pledge today.
Hi everyone, I am your very sleepy Satan or Alessa Vamp on the interwebs, and tonight I will be playing Yuiza, our widow, rogue, and warlock. It just happened recently. And I just, really hope we make it through these, 7 spirits,
Oh my goodness, I'm early. Yate, I'm Abby. I'm your local indigene, but tonight I will be your Fisscourth, our hooling cleric of Keening. So far, I've had a few religious troubles.
Hello everybody, I'm Zachary Vaudo. Tonight I'm playing Arat Kshizhin, your blind, Damphir wild oracle, and I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Hey everybody, it's me, RJ. Today I'm playing Sulong. We both go by he, him. He is a druid barbarian, and I'm a nuisance who wants to just punch ghosts. Let's punch some ghosts. Let's do it. I'm so hyped. Oh.
I mean, you can certainly try. Hey everybody, my name's Sara Roberts. I am the Hype Goblin. I will be your GM for this evening. Shall we just get into it, everyone? Last time on Luck and Chaos, you all met a new companion, Diana, who appears to have been stuck in this labyrinth, this spectral place, for at least a year so far. Agreeing to go with you through the labyrinth, you all made your way past the gaggle of snakes that were blocking one of the paths and found yourself at another door, which Yuiza, after a little puzzling, unlocked, which led into the room you are in now. A room made of beautiful stone with a river that seems to flow out of a void and into another void, barred only by a set of double doors. Upon discovering this, Arat, you and Sulong attempted to open the door with a bit of dexterity and balance, shall we say. But things went awry, just enough that you did not succeed. And Arat, you took a tumble into the water. As you tumbled in, ripples spread from your location out across the bodies floating in it, hands clasped on their chests, holding bouquets of flowers. And one by one, you saw 6 specters rise from the water. And that is where we are picking up tonight, everybody, in combat. Now, you all have already rolled your initiatives. Thank you so much for doing that for me. Diana pulls the bow off her back, the same one that she greeted you with, Fisscourth, in the maze. Reaches back and lets an arrow fly at the closest specter. She rolls a 22 to hit. However, you all, Fisscourth, Sulong, and Yuiza, you will all see this. All right, you will hear the arrow fly. But those of you that see it, see the arrow fly true, piercing through the center of the specter. And it passes through as though it is nothing but a whiff of smoke. The specter is unfazed. Up next, we have Spectre 1. And this specter moves towards Arat, ready to say hello to the person who disturbed their peaceful slumber. Arat, does a 13 hit you?
Barely, yes.
Okay. As this creature's spectral claws reach out and rake through you, you will be taking 15 necrotic damage, and I will also need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
I'm resistant to necrotic damage if that helps your
It does help you here,
Constitution saving throw.
but it doesn't help the con
Okay.
save.
Got it. 22 on the saving throw.
Okay, so since you are resistant, you will take half of the necrotic damage from that die roll, and you succeed on the con save. You're fine for now.
Okay. I just feel that I had no idea what happened until right then. Just, oh, got it.
Up next, another specter slides up out of the water. And it flies through the air towards Diana, being the one who got off a shot. And reaches for her as it rolls a 13. She sidesteps it just in the nick of time. Up next, the specter closest to you, Fisscourth, moves in, gliding through the air. Does a 7 hit you? It reaches out with spectral claws, just as it did to Arat and Diana, and comes up short, not quite reaching you. Up next, a specter flies up out of the water. Again, towards you, Arat, as you are closest to it. Does a 20 hit you?
If a 13 does, I'd say a 20 does.
You will be taking half of 13 points of necrotic damage as it uses life drain on you as well. I will need that Constitution saving throw again.
Half of what again?
Half of 13. So you'll take 6.
Is that up or down rounding?
You will round
Okay.
down.
$18.
18. Fantastic. You save. Up next, Sulong, you see these specters in the water hovering just above the surface and above the dead bodies. 2 of them have moved towards Arat to make a attack. 2 others have moved towards your other companions to attack. What do you do?
All things considered, since Arat is being surrounded right now, that is going to be my primary concern. Sulong reaches behind his back and pulls out a vial. He's going to use a bonus action to imbibe a potion of speed. He is going to use his first action to activate Transform, using a wild shape of charge. Movement to... I guess I'm hopping in the water and punching a specter barehanded. Does a 15 hit?
A 15 does hit.
4 bludgeoning damage.
You punch at this specter, and just like with the arrow, it dissipates and then reforms itself. It will take 2. Up next, another specter in the water spies you, Sulong, moving towards you to make its attack. A natural 20 for a 24, I believe, will hit you.
If it wasn't a critical. Alright, yep. That hits.
You'll be taking 26 points of necrotic damage. I will need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, Constitution is a 22.
What was your roll?
22.
Fantastic. Then your maximum HP is not reduced by the same amount as your damage. The next specter is going to fly towards Diana as well and make an attack. But with a 12, it does not hit. Once again, she manages to sidestep what's coming towards her expertly. That brings us next to Fisscourth. Fiss, there is a specter looming over you, tried to claw at you. Yuiza is behind you, Stinky Boy behind Yuiza. You see Diana sidestep 2 specters to your right. What do you do?
Well, when in doubt, inflict wounds on an incorporeal creature. I'm going to cast inflict wounds at the first level.
Okay.
Let's see what hits. Is a 12 hit?
A 12 does hit.
Oh, okay. Let's see how much damage they take. 14 damage. I'm just going to wave my wings about and, like, with a gust of wind, just send it into this thing's face.
All right. As you do, it dissipates as well, and it seems to take a while to come back and reform in front of you, but it is still up. Up next, Yuiza. Arat, you are on deck. Yuiza, what would you like to do this round?
I would like to, since weapons don't seem to be doing much, at least regular ones, Yuiza is going to move around over here to not be all bunched up and Eldritch Blast this ghosty boy over here. 16?
A 16 does hit.
Ooh, max damage for 10 points of, I think, force damage?
Your first bolt goes through this specter, and it takes it down to 0. It's trying to corporealize itself, but it just barely gets to the point where it's forming shape again when your Eldritch Blast shoots through it. You have another Eldritch Blast that you can use.
I have another one?
You have 2 at this level, I believe. If you look at your sheet, it should say next to you the number of beams.
I'm level 1 in Warlock. I don't get 2 until level 5 in Warlock.
It goes based off of your total level, not your Warlock level. So if you look on your D&D Beyond sheet, it'll say off to the right how many beams you have. It should say 2 at this level.
You are correct. I'm so excited. Thank you. And she will shoot the other one at the one in front of Diane. 25.
That does hit.
Ooh, the dice giveth and the dice taketh. That's minimum damage for 1 point of force damage.
Hey, better than nothing, right?
Better than nothing.
Up next is Arat.
So, taking the hit, just stumbling back to the wall, hearing Sulong approaching, I'll just ask, like, what is attacking us?
Ghosts!
Can anybody touch them?
Kind of?
Wait here, and I'm going to attempt to move like behind Sulong to avoid some of these ghosts. I know there's one right in front of me, but
You will be taking the attack of opportunity if you do that. Does a 10 hit you?
no.
All right. And that attack of opportunity fails.
All right, so move there, centered to everybody, and then I have a card in my fate hand. It's the newest card I acquired, and I've been curious to see what it does. I get a sense of what it does, but I want to see how this pans out. I pull from my fate deck the Artificer card.
Okay.
For the next minute, all weapons, so 5 weapons within my range that I'm in right now, are considered magical and gain a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls. I lift the card up and it dissolves in my hand. Sulong, what weapon are you holding?
Sulong isn't holding a weapon. He's punching things, but he does have a short sword in his belt.
Cool. You suddenly feel like you suddenly look down and the short sword has. It looks like there's something like forms itself between the hilt and the blade, and it looks like it'll start like spinning the blade as you spin it. Fisscourth, you look down at your crossbow and it has a laser scope on it, and Diane's bow has just a full like sniper scope attached to it, whereas my walking stick just pops out metal spikes on it. These don't do anything more than what I've already stated it does, but it does say that it modifies all these weapons within my range.
Okay. Sounds great. Anything else for your turn?
Let me see how far this is. Yeah, I want to try one thing. I don't know if it'll work, but the ghost that's in front of Diane.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna reach my hand out. I'm picking that one because I'm reaching my hand in a direction, and I'm just pushing telekinesis because it just says a creature. Period.
Okay.
So they need to make a strength saving throw.
That is a 4.
Cool. It's just gonna knock 5 feet to the left. Oh wait, like not directly on her.
At the top of the next round, rising up from the water, you see a ghost in the form of a young human woman wearing a simple white shift. Her hair is bound in a braid. She's barefoot, floating just above the water. And as she makes her presence known, she zooms through the air, and Sulong, for a moment you think that she's coming for you, but she passes through the two ghosts, the two specters nearest you, seemingly attacking them. And they will both take the full 10 force damage as she ends her turn with a limb in each of them. And she turns her head towards you and says, "You need to get out of the water. Now." And that will be her turn. Up next is Diana. And as her weapon now counts as magical, she pulls her bowstring back one more time and lets an arrow fly at the specter furthest away from you, Sulong. That'll be a 13, and that does hit. They will take 6 damage from that. Up next are the specters. Spectre 1 is not too happy, and it makes its attack at the ghost girl who warned you, Sulong, about being in the water. Thank you, D&D Beyond. I know an error occurred. Please give me the stat block. And it does hit with an 11. It meets the AC of this young ghost girl. Luckily, she's immune to necrotic damage. Next, the specter near Diana reaches out to make another swing. And with a 7, once again, does not hit this archer that you all met in the labyrinth. The specter, between you and the ghost girl, Sulong, makes another attack at you. Does a 16 hit?
Does not.
Does not. It reaches for you with these arms, but it almost seems like this young ghost maiden just pulls it back from inside the specter's body. Up next, Sulong. It's your turn.
Hello, it is me, Sulong. I'm gonna use a bonus action to retract my shield and hold it. I will be taking an attack of opportunity by stepping out of the water and back onto the floor, but I'll be out of the water nonetheless.
All right. Does a 13 hit you?
Does not.
All right, you're good.
All right. Action to activate, finally, my treant form. And then my hasted action to punch the specter in front of me.
Please punch that specter.
Does a 24 hit?
A 24 definitely hits.
11 points of magical bludgeoning damage.
It feels this time as though the specter is solid. Like you are hitting flesh and bone, even though you know it's nothing more than an incorporeal form pulled together through the air. Anything else for your turn? That brings us to the specter that you're fighting, which is going to try and return the favor. Does a 10 hit?
It does not.
As its form ripples under your fist, it swings out Looney Tunes style and doesn't quite reach you. Up next is the final specter with Fisscourth on deck, and it is going to try and hit our dear friend Diana, who just seems to be a ghost magnet. And Diana, what's your AC? And with a 16, it's going to meet Diana's AC. 11 necrotic damage. And let me see if they make their con save. Diana does not make the con save, so their health is permanently reduced by 11. Sorry, not permanently, until she finishes a long rest. Up next, Fisscourth, it's your turn. You just saw Diana take a mighty hit. Not looking too good.
Oh dear, we don't resolve this quickly. Everyone's going to be looking just as sickly. I'm going to take aim at, well, that specter. Instead of moving, though, I'm going to pull out my crossbow, which miraculously did something. It must be Arat's doing. And take a shot right at this specter.
You're shooting at the one in front of Diana?
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
Come on, crossbow. Is a 21 hit?
A 21 does hit.
8 damage.
All right. Your arrow flies and sticks into this creature, taking the full 8 damage. Anything else for your turn?
No, but I will observe I've never known spirits to be so gooey.
Up next, Yuiza with Arat on deck.
Yuiza is going to move. She's going to use a bonus action to dash and move up behind this specter that's next to Diana. The one that Fisscourth did not hit. And as she's running, she's going to pop out her hidden blades. So, and she's going to stab this creature 20.
A 20 does hit.
19 damage. That's with my sneak attack.
Okay. All right, up next, Arat.
Arat's gonna pick up his now Tetsubo-looking walking stick, just take a solid 10 step forward and just club swing right down on top of this ghost.
Okay.
Yeah, for a 25 total with current state of things. 12 magical bludgeoning.
All right, and it will take that full amount. It is still up. However, for those of you who can see this specter that Arat just gave a mighty wallop to, it does not look good. It's struggling to hold its form. Precious Stinky Boy is kind of hopping around to the side. He keeps going back and forth, doesn't really know where to go. There's nowhere for him to run or to hide. And at one point, Yuiza, during this combat, you see him take a running dash, and he actually leaps across.
Oh, he has anxiety.
He does. He doesn't want to be here. Does not like it. 10 out of 10. Mom's on her own.
That's fair.
Up next, the Ghost Maiden will once again try and assist you all. She is going to use her incorporeal movement as well. And this time, moving fully into the space of one of these specters, doing the full damage once again of 10. So that specter is no more. It's almost as if she absorbs that specter that she moves into Sulong. Up next is the specter that the young ghost maiden previously had her hand in, holding it still for you all. It's going to strike out at her. And a 16 will hit. However, she is immune to the necrotic damage. Up next is the specter next to Arat. Arat, it's going to take a swing at you as it is on its last legs. Does a 17 hit?
Yeah, that hits.
All right. You will be taking half of 11 necrotic damage, and I will need that Constitution saving throw.
16.
16, you save. Fantastic. Up next, we have Sulong.
I'm taking a swing at this creature in front of me.
All right, please do so.
23 to hit.
A 23 does hit.
For 7 points of magical bludgeoning damage.
All right. The specter in front of you is not looking great. It's unable to reform one of its limbs that it was previously clawing at you with, but it is still up.
Cool. I have a second attack. Just gonna punch him again. That's working. Natural 20 for a 26.
That hits.
For this button. Yes. 12 points of magical bludgeoning damage.
Do you want to describe what it looks like when you punch through this creature?
He is... From an outward perspective, the camera zooms out. It is a hectic battle as these specters are dodging in and out of his friends. This camera pans in on Sulong, who has these wooden knuckles and hands and is just grabbing this specter by the shirt collar because now it's an oobleck-like material. He just begins to pummel it in the face over and over again. And then just looks over to the ghost girl. Miss, do you eat these?
She gives you a very confused look, Sulong. Anything else for your turn?
Got it. And then he punches one more time through the head of the specter, and it just... and I'm going to position myself right next to Arat and Yuiza. The ghost girl has it handled.
Up next, we have the specter. And since you were the one to hit it most recently, Yuiza, it's going to attack you.
What, little old me?
Does a 9 hit?
No, silly.
The 9 does not hit. Fantastic. Up next, we have Fisscourth with Yuiza on deck.
Oh dear, well that looks like it's evolving poorly. I might as well fire another shot and finish off this wretched thing, hopefully. And I'm going to fire at the specter that is in front of Arat.
Please do.
This is for you, baby. Is it 12 hit?
A 12 does hit.
That's 7 damage. I'm just gonna shoulder that crossbow, fire at it.
How does Fisscourth take this one out?
I think it's this little moment. She's figuring out, like, oh, there's actually like a little sight I can look through. I'm not just firing wildly. Watches this as the specter looms over Arat. And through that slightly see-through gaze, she just aims right for where its heart would be.
And your shot fires true. As it dissipates, your arrow clatters to the ground with a little tink, tink, tink sound. You can collect it later, should you wish. Up next is Yuiza with Arat on deck.
She sidesteps this ghost trying, or specter trying to hit her. And as she does a little, like, she sidesteps it and twirls back to hit it. This is a 16 hit.
It does.
Cool. That's gonna be 15 points of damage.
All right, what does it look like as you kill this ghost and send it back to whence it came?
She does this little kind of flourish as she twirls around from the sidestep to slash at it, and it just slashes like right across from like middle of the abdomen to the shoulder, and it meets the resistance of this like forbidden gack, and just slices right clean through.
Alrighty. Up next, Arat.
Everything sounds very quiet over near us. So I'm going to use my action, just go, oh good, and just sit flat down on the ground.
Okay.
And that's it. As I'm rather low on HP at the moment, so just sitting and just immediately starting to just recuperate.
Okay. Up next is Diana, and you watch as in one fluid movement as she slides between you, drawing her bow, pulling it back against her ear, and letting it fly as she stops. With a 21, it flies straight through the specter, and the specter almost gets pinned momentarily to the wall with the arrow as the arrow clatters into the water amongst the bodies. You are all out of combat.
I want to punch more things.
Everyone,
more
come
things to
down,
punch.
please. Come to me if you require healing. Diana, was it? Please, come here. And I'm just gonna waddle over to where Diana and Arat are, very concerned, very mother hen. And if they consent, I will cast Healing Word on them both.
I'm actually just going to say, could we perhaps just rest here for a moment?
I am fine. See to your other friends.
Stinky boy, come here. You can jump. Don't go in the water. Just jump, okay?
And the ghost girl will float over to you all.
Oh. Greetings, Spirit. Thank you for your assistance.
What are you all doing here?
Stinky boy, come on, jump. It's just Yuiza's ignoring the ghost.
We are looking for somebody lost in the labyrinth.
A baker's wife? Have you give a general description to the ghost girl?
A bard, a music player, a singer.
Oh. The one that he took?
I'm sorry, what?
He took her.
The paladin of the labyrinth took her, yes.
Is that what he is? And she drifts around you, Sulong, as she says that to Arat. Her feet never touching the ground, just sort of dragging through the air.
That is what the baker told us. I suppose that's all he knew.
Who's the baker?
The husband of the woman that was taken.
She'll have a new husband soon.
What?
Don't
Of her
believe
choosing?
it works that way.
She just stares at you all.
I don't believe that is something that she wanted. We are here to help retrieve her and bring her back home.
It's not what I wanted either. Yet here I am.
Well, if we had known about you then, perhaps we would have been able to do the same.
No, is this like a Bluebeard situation?
Who?
I don't know who that is.
It's
Neither
a
do I.
story. We'll tell you about it later.
And she floats around you all, just watching.
Spirit, if I may, where did you last see this paladin? We might be able to stop his evil, for good. Give you rest, succor.
And she turns almost lazily, as if blown by an unseen wind, out over the water and points at the doors. He's always through there.
How do we get through those doors?
Open them.
But we're not supposed to touch the water.
Of course.
And she just sort of tilts her head at you, Yuiza, and floats over to the doors, slowly turning the handle and opening them.
Huh.
And they open wide.
Thanks, Merv. Oh no.
What?
I'm so tired.
Are you ill?
Yeah, yes, as I said, perhaps we can just sit and rest for a moment.
I think I need to sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Stinky boy.
When haste ends, you become super lethargic.
Yuiza, if it would make you feel better, as we all rest, I suppose I could fly over the stream and retrieve the creature, if that would help.
That would help. Thank you so much.
Very begrudgingly, I take wing and flap over to Stinky Boy.
Okay. You flap over and land next to him. What do you do?
Come here, beast. You're coming with me to your mother over there. And I just unceremoniously grab him with a foot and start to flap my wings.
Okay.
Make sure he doesn't get scared. He'll fart real bad.
Yuiza, I will need you to roll that wisdom save for Precious Stinky Boy.
18. He can hold in his farts.
He can indeed hold in his musk sacs and not poison Fisscourth. But the two of you are able to make it back over.
Spirit, what is your name?
Ophira.
Ophira, how did you were taken as well, you said?
Mm-hmm.
From where?
My home.
Is there anyone at home that needs to know your fate?
Would you tell them, Mother and Father?
If you tell me where to find them.
She drifts out over the water and then drifts back with her back to you, sitting on the edge, almost as if you would sit on a dock at a lakeside, staring out over the water to the other side of the room. They used to own a tavern. They would be there.
Where?
Lily's Reign.
Lily's Reign.
Arat, roll me a history check.
That's intelligence, right?
I believe so, yes.
17.
17. Lily's Reign was one of Annie's favorite spots. Shortly before you left, the establishment burnt down.
And I nod and say, should I find your parents, I will tell them.
Thank you.
Of course.
Well, we should rest up if we're going to face this horrible man.
Diana looks at you, reaching down to scratch Precious Stinky Boy behind the ear, rubbing her knuckle in a circular motion in the ear, and he leans into it. Probably not a good idea, or probably a good idea. If we don't touch the water, we will hopefully be fine here.
Hopefully.
What about those of us who have touched the water, Sulong says, from the ground where he is sat and, his pants are soaked?
Perhaps we just don't touch it anymore.
Diana looks at you, an eyebrow raised. Well, I would advise washing after being in a river with dead bodies, but otherwise, you should be fine.
And that could lead to serious infection.
Yuiza, can you prestidigitate me?
Yes, she'll snap her fingers.
Thank you.
Arat just runs a hand over his entirely soaked body because he fell face first into the water and just prestidigitation dry.
You can take some time to prestidigitate each other clean. It will take a little time because I believe you only clear 1 square inch of soiled goods with prestidigitation. Is there anything the rest of you are doing?
Yuiza will give Fisscourth a hug for helping her with Precious Stinky Boy.
She just stiffens a little bit, but then, you know, it's Yuiza. I'll accept a hug from Yuiza any day. And just lean on her shoulder and say, I will leave that beast next time. Keep him close.
No, you won't, because you love me, and I love him.
You don't like him.
I do,
Diana looks
that's
at you.
true. Could I just pop out from Yuiza's shoulder? He's wretched. Look at those eyes. There's secrets beyond any of our knowledge there. I think he seeks to betray us. I do not know how he's managed to seduce Yuiza.
Diana is suppressing a chuckle at that Fisscourth. Well, he definitely does not think that way about you.
What does he think about Fisscourth?
Diana leans down and whispers something in Precious Stinky Boy's ear, and you see him look up at her. His tail swishes, and then his ears flip back and forth as his nose raises up, bobbing a little bit, almost in a mimicry of speech. He says you're often the most sensible one, and the one who takes care of everybody when they're hurt. He trusts you implicitly.
Well, he is quite generous in his wording, even if I don't believe him. But I do my best. I am a cleric, a woman of the cloth, after all.
And he says that you are his new mom. You are his family now. You make him feel safe. She turns to you, Yuiza.
Wait, who's his new mom? Is it me? Is it Fisscourth?
She nods to you, Yuiza. He says that he was lost and you found him.
I was lost and he found me. And she's gonna be on her knees and just like scratch him and hug him. We found each other. We rescued each other.
He speaks quite highly of all of you.
I want to talk to him. Can you tell him I love him? And that I will always protect him and give him freshly toasted granola when I can.
She leans down and whispers into his ear. He's excited for the granola.
See, Fisscourth, he's a good boy. He thinks you're amazing because you are. He has high opinions of you. I think you should give him a chance. And she puts her face right next to him. Look at him. She just gives him gives Fisscourth like big puppy dog eyes right next to Precious Stinky Boy's face.
I will begin setting down blankets so we can rest.
Yuiza and Fisscourth, Yuiza and Precious Stinky Boy watch you, Fisscourth, the scent glands flexing on the top of Precious Stinky Boy's head as he does, with his big round eyes and Yuiza's big round eyes right next to his. And I think on that wholesome and loving note is where we should go to break today. What do you guys think? You want some water? You want to stretch your legs? All right. Thank you everyone so much for joining us. Don't forget to check us out at hypegoblin.com/events if you want the schedule for this and other shows like it on the channel, or visit the link that is I'm gonna put the link in chat for everybody if you want to go check out the Kickstarter campaign. Thank you again to our friends over at the Wandering Tavern Kickstarter for being supportive of this show and others like it on the channel, and we will see you all shortly. All right, everybody wave. Bye-bye.
Hello? Are you there? It's Amelia. The secrets of the Wandering Tavern are coming for me. I know too much. And now, so will you. The Wandering Tavern is 15 layers of corruption, gambling, exotic restaurants, hotels, expansive workstations, and buzzing accommodations. Amongst these are 23 unique locations that range from lavish establishments down to the city's seedy underbelly. But don't worry, I've got detailed battle maps of the entire floating metropolis, so all you players and GMs can find your way around. Within the bustle of this colossal airship, deadly secrets plague the air. Luckily, I was able to collect scathing testimonies from over 30 NPC patrons and staff while evading the grasp of the ruthless Claw Militia. These testimonies were laced with 30 interconnected plot hooks. It all seems to be linked. The unsolved disappearance of the engineering team, the Claw Mafia's black market empire, the automaton mutiny brewing in the depth, and even the lingering spirits of the deceased. Oh, I didn't mention that. As the sun sets, shadowy forms seep from dark corners to materialise throughout the Wandering Tavern. Hold tight to your wards as spirits roam, looking for answers, a quiet conversation, or their next victim. But don't despair. There's still plenty to enjoy if you become marooned here. I've eaten sensational food, found a myriad of powerful items, won games of chance, and delighted in the tavern's vibrant festivities. However, if you do need a quick getaway, there are 6 unique plug-and-play airships with more than 50 parts and stations to facilitate your escape. The Wandering Tavern can be an entire campaign setting, or simply dropped into your current world. I'm so glad to have been able to collaborate with some of our favourite creators, who have kindly gifted me with many add-ons and trinkets to expand your adventure even further. So, climb aboard, if you dare. Back the Wandering Tavern Kickstarter, out now.
You all took about an hour to rest, lick your wounds, recuperate, have a snack, have a chat with Precious Stinky Boy via Diana. He speaks highly of all of you, doesn't quite understand what it is you do or why you travel around so much, but he's very happy that he has found himself with this herd. And he is eager to continue on to see where you all take him next. He's very much enjoying the people things of the world that he hasn't gotten to see before. And Ophira, after sitting quietly for a while, drifts amongst you all, just listening to you all talk amongst yourselves. What are you all doing during this downtime?
Arat is laying flat on his back, just like Arat is laying flat on his back and just not moving, not talking unless spoken to. It has been a while since he's taken that amount of damage, and he's tried to avoid that ever since, so he's just full recuperating and letting the little like necrotic bits like bubble out. They're just a rock on the ground.
Sulong is currently munching on some trail mix and jerky and kind of looking around the room. Do you think I'd get a migraine if I used detect magic here?
Absolutely, and I do not recommend it. And I'm just like fanning Arat with a wing as I'm sitting and staring at Stinky Boy, who I have very mixed feelings about at the moment.
Yuiza is warming up some granola with some prestidigitation. It's not the same as toasting, but we have limited resources here, and just feeding it to Precious Stinky
Produce
Boy.
flame is a cantrip. I can do that for you if you want.
It's a cantrip. So long, I need your flame.
Hand out.
It's like popcorn. And like a little pan.
You can definitely do that. Precious Stinky Boy is laying down with his head resting in your lap, Yuiza, as you toast this for him. He's not scared at all of the magic that you all possess and shoot off randomly about him. He seems to trust you all implicitly at this point. But after about an hour, you get your rest in. What do you do next?
Who's ready to leap across a chasm?
I would remind you I have wings. I could carry you all. I am very dependable, after all.
Just roll over and cough up like a bit of like black ichor and just go, with the door open, it should be easier to get through, I hope. Not have to worry so much about balancing. You can see the other side at least.
True, but we can't step on the water, or we shouldn't step on the water to get into the door. I do have a potion of climbing that I forgot I had because the label went all fuzzy, but I remember. At least I think that's what it is.
I could also ferry people across.
What does it look like on the other side of the door?
Can Sulong, like, peer around, sticking to the floor for, like, extra balance?
You can absolutely do that. And as you do, you peer through the door and you see a heavy gray haze of clouds rolling through the sky. You hear thunder rumbling and reverberating through the stone walls into this room. And every few minutes, lightning cracks and bolts across the sky. It's quite difficult to see through the other side of the door. There's a storm that has rolled in through the maze.
Looks like there's a big storm coming.
But how?
I don't know, because this labyrinth is weird. We were outside, then we were inside, then we were outside, then we fought stuff, then there was... what was he? He had the hooves, and he was annoying.
Oh, we didn't fight him so much as talk with him.
A satyr! Yeah, no, but we fought other things. There was what's it called? No, it's not. What's it called? It had the head of a deer and like some gnarly teeth, and I don't know.
Oh, right. And
man, it's been a lot.
I pick up one of
What
the
was I
I pick up
saying?
one of the horns of the thing from my bag.
Yeah, that
Have you
thing.
met the Chimera yet?
Chimera?
The
Oh,
ghostly
no.
head of Ophira turns to ask you all.
Kaima, what now?
The Chimera, Kieran's pet. He brought it here.
You're saying that word like I know what it is. I'm sorry, I'm a little irritable after downing that potion. What's a chimera?
The Chimera, Ophira explains, is a three-headed beast. It's a creature with a dragon head, a lion head, and a goat head. It's quite large. She tries to gesture. It's larger than most of the creatures you all have fought before.
If it is a pet, I imagine it probably would be in his vicinity unless he lets it roam.
He uses it to prevent the souls from leaving their purgatory. She looks out over the water. That's how I died.
Icky.
Oh.
You're near the center.
We're near the center, you say?
Mm-hmm. I can help you get there if you wish.
That would be very, very kind of you, yes. Hopefully, we will find what we're looking for.
Okay. Well, I guess we only have one option here.
Through the doors, shall we?
I would also like to remind you guys that the time we spend here apparently is different than the time that passes outside, so we may have been gone. Oh no, what if I missed his set at the Rosy Cozy?
Oh, we better keep
Sulong will-
moving then.
Yeah, Sulong will put a hand on Yuiza's shoulder like a condolence. You definitely missed a set.
Oh no. I'm gonna be so sad.
Just say you're doing adventurer stuff.
He should be understanding. It's what happens when you love an adventurer.
Well, I don't know about love, but he's real cute.
Who am I carrying over?
Me
Look at Arat.
and Precious Stinky Boy.
Fisscourth, if you would actually carry our new friend, I should be able to stick to the walls and get around now that the door is
Oh,
open.
yes. Diana, might I grab your shoulders and ferry you across?
She looks at the water and then back at you, weighing her options. All right.
I could carry you, and Yuiza could go with Fisscourth.
No.
No,
fine.
she did say she would prefer to fly next time.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just hop up on her shoulders and flap my wings as fast as I can and take flight.
Okay, can you roll me a strength check?
Sir, please don't fail me now. Please. Please. That was a natural 2 for a total of 3.
You begin lifting up and Diana slips out of your grasp, back onto the floor. Maybe I'll just find my own way across.
This has never happened before. My apologies. Yes, that does sound like a good notion. I will go through the doors, and Fisscourth will just shoot through the doors.
You shoot through the doors into the rain, and the rest of you watch as Diana takes a look at the 2 large doors and pulls out 2 arrows that have been reinforced with steel bands. Lodging them into the metalwork of the doors, she uses them to climb her way across and jump out to the other side.
I just Spider-Man around the walled door to the ground.
Sulong holding both Precious Stinky Boy and Yuiza on his shoulders. You know what we should do, dear? We should get Stinky Boy a carrying harness. This would be a lot better.
That's what I was thinking. Oh my god.
Make me the strength check to hold on to your friends and Precious Stinky Boy.
At 24.
You definitely make it across. No problems. As you all have this conversation, you make it to the other side and you are pelted with rain. It's nearly raining sideways. It is coming down so hard. It's unnerving. You could have sworn that much of this was indoors. How can it rain within a wall? But as you push forward, Ophira does state again for you all that she has made it to the end, despite her imminent demise there. And she leads you expertly through the rain as it beats down upon you. As you make your way through the storm, the center of the maze opens up before you. A circular clearing with one remaining stone wall erected in the center. A large golden door has been built into the wall, similar to the first one, but twice as wide. A single beam of sunlight breaks through the clouds, illuminating the door. On the facade are painted red roses and a large knocker in the shape of a lion's head.
Oh, how curious. Do you think we should knock it?
Yeah. I do wonder if perhaps we will start things off better by announcing our presence versus sneaking in and being caught, potentially.
I mean, I feel like this is all gonna end up the same way anyway.
It will, but we might prolong it by being respectful to start.
He kidnapped a lady.
And we are still in his domain.
Exactly. Everyone appreciates a polite house guest, even if they've committed a few crimes. Ask me how I know.
We know.
How do you know?
We always appreciated good manners before we consumed the lives of others.
Filing that away for never talking about that again.
Yes, shall we knock on the door?
Please.
I would like to talk about that extensively at some point, but yes.
I believe we already have.
Sulong raises a fist. And
You knock on the door with your fist. Nothing happens.
Well, you got to use the knocker. She'll take the knocker and just, yeah, doom, doom, doom.
Okay. Yuiza, as you use the large knocker, the door opens slowly into a huge cathedral. 400 feet long, 100 feet wide. Gray light streams in through tall arched windows, and a long ornate rug stretches from the doorway to the chancel. The side aisles are filled with dark wooden pews, and you see a woman dressed in a black beaded gown on a stage on the chancel. She's singing a haunting melody, and her voice fills the chamber. The Lacrimosa River continues into this cathedral. You see it run along the right side of the room. And as it does, it comes to a stop in front of the chancel where the woman is singing. And you see the creature with the dragon head, a lion head, and a goat head. The chimera is crouched before it. Whenever a soul tries to emerge from the river to the chancel, the lion head bares its teeth, and the soul slowly lowers back into the river, and the current reverses direction. The creature is preventing the souls from leaving the purgatory of the river. What do you all do first?
I'm assuming this somebody describes this to me.
Yes. Into the ground, and then the soul went back into the river and it changed directions.
Does it look like we are going to have to encounter this creature directly? Is there any way around it?
I mean, it's pretty large, and it's like, you know, right there, and I don't think it's gonna like us if we take this lady.
I imagine.
She will just say, Simonetta, is that you?
As you call out, the singing continues, but you hear a clap of hands cloaked in metal coming from a chair opposite all of you. And you see for the first time Kshizhin, a man dressed in black armor sitting on a throne, his legs draped over the arm. Upon you calling out, he quickly stands up, the emblem of Shar clearly visible on his breastplate. Welcome to the Temple of Shar. I'm so pleased you made it through the labyrinth. I was not expecting new guests. You are just in time to meet my new bride, Simonetta. Doesn't she have such a wonderful voice? What can I do for you all? Come, please, sit. Stay a while. Forever if you'd like.
Well, hello, and thank you for welcoming us to your labyrinth, Mr.
Kshizhin.
Sorry, I'm dyslexic. I can't help but admire the beautiful structure of your labyrinth and your river, and your cathedral. It's in your temple to Shar. It's quite beautiful.
Oh. It is, isn't it? Magnificent. Built by Shar herself.
Wow, I did not know she was an architect as well.
Tell me, what can I do for you all?
I'm afraid Simonetta must come with us. You see, there seems to have been a bit of a mishap. She already has a husband. I don't believe it's legal in these lands to have two husbands. Or maybe even there is.
Oh, that foolish baker. He sent you.
Yes?
Oh, Shar was right whispering in my ear. I shouldn't have spared him. Well, I'm sorry. If you came here, you're going to have to leave empty-handed. Or you can stay. The Chimera is rather peckish.
Well, if I may ask, why is it that you're looking for a bride?
Who wouldn't want companionship? Day after day, year after year, for the hundreds that have drolled on in this place, I deserve to have someone by my side, serving in Shar's darkness with me. Who else could make a more perfect bride for me?
I would know someone who came of their own will, preferably. I find that consent is quite delightful myself.
Oh, you mortals and your rules. Oh, it used to be so fun to play by them. So,
Used to.
what shall it be? Are you going to get out of my Dark Lady's domain? Or am I feeding you to my pet? And you all see the Chimera's heads lift up. There's a rumbling purr from all three heads. A cacophony of sound as they all turn your way.
Apologies, did you say used to?
He looks at you, nods. He seems rather bored with your question.
I wait for an answer as I can't see him nod.
He nodded.
There's nothing but silence that greets you, Arat.
Okay.
Well, team vote?
I was about to ask, would you mind us calling a team meeting real quick, or do you want an answer immediately?
Like, can we think on it?
Oh no, please do. You're more than
Cool.
welcome to try and leave.
Oh, cool. One moment, time out.
Group huddle.
I'm just gonna flush a wing, like, from away from his view. Just
There's a shield that goes over everyone.
we have to kill him, that's fairly obvious. He's kidnapped her, he worships Shar, and I'm saying this as someone who formerly worshipped a dark god. You rarely are dissuaded from that path.
Yeah, but
I mean, yes. There's also a chimera, and, like, I really want to get her back. Like, this guy's super creepy, and, like, sure, he's, like, kind of handsome, like, if you look at him in the right light,
Suwang
but
peeks
also,
over
like,
the shoulder at the mention of he's kind of handsome. Goes back down.
the creepiness kind of, like, takes away from that, and, like, I don't like that he just kind of, there's a lot. There's just a lot. And, like, I don't know if we're going to win this fight.
We are
but
in
we
an
gotta try.
we are in an interesting situation where we are in his domain trying to force our will, and we do not know the full extent of what can be done here. That creature also does sound rather large. I do not want to leave without
it's,
her.
like, huge.
I do not want to leave without her, but I do not know what to do.
I think we have more allies than we think. Those spirits are held in this river, and it appears that that creature is keeping them here. Perhaps, if the spirits see that we are attempting to fight back, they'll join us, so long as we can keep those heads occupied.
Well, given what he has said, it's do or die. I'd rather do. So, I guess... punch him? Question mark?
We will probably have to pull the chimera away from the.
Oh, well, yes, it's a general punching, a generic.
Oh, well then, yes.
Everyone does one.
Okay, so we're fighting, right?
I don't believe we have much of a choice.
I can try and keep the Chimera busy.
Ophira floats amongst you all.
As can I.
If any of you die, I can lead your soul away from here. You won't
Oh,
have to
cool.
go into the river.
I do appreciate that. Do you,
I would appreciate that. Yeah, actually.
do you have, you've been here before. Do you know anything that might help us in this location?
Don't get caught in the Chimera's jaws like I did.
Understandable.
Cool. Okay. Mr. Kyrian, hi. We have decided, and we cannot leave without Simonetta. Yes.
The woman comes with us.
Prepare thyself. I guess.
All right, if you must, I'll scrape your blood from the floor later. All right, dinner time. And he snaps his fingers, and the Chimera stands. And starts stalking towards you all. This is where we will go into initiative. First up, Yuiza.
Oh no. Just gonna move a little bit. Just a little bit. Back, because that thing scares me now. And I'm gonna Eldritch Blast it with my 2 beams. I'm assuming an 11 doesn't hit.
That does not hit.
I'm assuming a 13 doesn't hit.
That does not hit.
I'm kind of scared, guys. And she's gonna duck behind the pew.
Up next, we have Sulong with Arat on deck. Sulong.
I'm gonna use my action to use up my last wild shape and activate Treant form, using my movement to 30 feet. That's 10. It's like around here. Sulong will run on over. I will hunker down and wait for the big boy to come.
I'm going to move towards the sound of the water.
Okay.
And then this will determine what I do. Is it a free action or a bonus action if I just like put my stick in the water and just like splash it around?
You can definitely do that.
I want to do that to disturb the water
Okay.
to see if I can stir up any ghosts. And then while I do that, I'm going to draw a card. But
Okay.
if you're going to tell me something, go for it.
I will. You splash around in the water and you splash a bit of water onto yourself.
I can't see, so I won't know, but yeah, just like last time, I won't know. So I'm gonna chance it and hope that my combat cards are towards the top. They are. So I'm gonna draw, and it's the elemental card.
Okay.
I'm going to reach my hand out forward, and the elemental card is going to turn into Witch Bolt at the Chimera. Does an 18 hit the Chimera?
An 18 does hit.
26 lightning damage.
Up next in combat is Simonetta, who is still singing, but giving the side eye to Kyrian, seemingly waiting for him to make a move of some sort. And Ophira is going to soar up and fly over towards Kyrian. That will be her turn. Up next, Kyrian is still seated with his legs flung over the side of the chair. He doesn't seem to be too concerned about all of you. He's flicking lint off his armor, humming to himself, not even glancing your way. The Chimera, however, the Chimera is hungry, and it has a meal moving towards it. That is interesting. The Chimera is going to lift up into the air. Fisscourth, you can feel the air in this room move with the flap of those big, powerful, leathery, draconic wings. And it's going to turn to you, Sulong. The creature turns its body, and the mouth of the draconic head opens, and it exhales fire in a 15-foot cone. I will need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
21.
You will only take half damage as you pass the DC. You'll be taking half of 28 fire damage.
I am also using a reaction to cast Absorb Elements to half that.
Okay, please do. For its second attack, it will bite at you. Does a 13 hit?
Does not.
All right. As it opens its mouth to spew out this fiery breath, it whips around and the lion's head snaps at you, but miscalculates the distance, missing you. Up next, we have Diana. She leans over to you, Fisscourth. Keep them all up. Attack from a distance. As she crouches low and begins moving through the pews, she's going to end up over by Yuiza. And you watch as she crouch walks just as silently as Yuiza can to the side of the room, pulling her bow back and letting a ranged attack fly. She has a look of determination on her face. As she fires off a shot at Kyrian, you think that it's going to strike true. But he simply reaches up with one hand and grabs her arrow from the air, snapping it in two. Sighing, finally looking over at you all and smiling. And that will be Diana's turn. Up next, Fisscourth. It's your turn.
Damage from a distance, keep them all up. I can do this. I just take a look back at Stinky Boy and say, stay right there. Unless something tries to kill you, then run like the hells. And I'm going to take flight and land on this little, God, I'm not religious, pew, and be ready and poised. You know what? I'm gonna pull out my crossbow, big iron style, and fire at the goat head.
Okay, please do.
Let's see if it hits. Please hit. Please. Ah. Does a 23 hit?
You're aiming at the Chimera?
Yes.
23 definitely hits.
Get shot, bozo. Oh, but he's only taking 3 damage.
Hey, some is better than none.
Fair point.
All right. Anything else your turn?
Nope. Just here until someone goes down.
All right, you're doing great, sweetie. Up next, Yuiza with Sulong on deck.
It's okay, I didn't say
You're
much
muted.
important. Just, oh gosh. Oh gosh, little old me. I think that I don't know if I'll be able to hit this guy, but maybe the Chimera if I slide over and flank with Sulong. It's about 30 feet. And coming from behind.
You won't be able to move through
That
its
is-
space, so you'll have to go around it.
True. So I'm gonna jump over this pew. That's 10 feet, I think. And then I'm gonna go over here, and that's another. It's a 15 feet. That's 25. And I'm gonna go here, and she's gonna come in with her daggers, which is a natural 20 for 28.
Nice. That's a crit. Okay, so go ahead and roll your crit damage.
So a total of 24 damage to this creature as she'll kind of come in.
What was the sneak attack?
The sneak attack was 14. She's gonna come in and as she's just rushing by, much like Diana, her steps are very quiet, but she comes in quickly and she slides the dagger as it pops out of her bracers across the body of this creature as she comes around it. And I'm also going to offhand attack as my bonus action because I have 2 weapon fighting. This is a 24 hit.
A 24 does hit.
Okay, it's only a d4 without any but you know, every little bit counts, and that's an extra 3 points of damage as she comes in with her other hand and just kind of like a little upper punch with the other dagger in her arm.
Okay. Sulong.
As the fire dissipates, Sulong swings his shield to the side and bonus action rage.
Okay.
Power attack. I'm going to uppercut it in the face. 21 to hit.
A 21 does hit.
17 points of bludgeoning damage. And also because I used absorb elements last turn and took fire damage, I get to roll fire damage against this creature. So they will be taking an additional 6 points of fire damage. To everyone who can see, it looks like Sulong is eating the flames. They are coalescing around his mouth. He swallows. This light travels down to his fist, and then he uppercuts the lion head, and there is like a gunshot, followed by an explosion of fire. But that's my turn.
Fantastic. Up next, Arat.
All right. Gonna move away from the creature just enough to stay in range. I'm dragging my stick through the water the whole way, just in case. Action, just gonna whip my hand and sustain Witch Bolt. Nice. For 12 more lightning damage on the Chimera.
Okay.
And then reaching my hand towards the sound of the voice, I'm gonna say, Simonetta, you don't have to come here, but I'm going to also use telekinesis to try to pull her just 5 feet towards me.
Okay.
So she can willingly fail it, or she has to make a strength saving throw.
She'll fail it. And
Okay,
move.
so she's just gonna
5 feet.
she's gonna stumble 5 feet towards me.
Anything else?
That's everything.
All right. Up next is Simonetta. Still singing, still keeping an eye on Kyrian. The ghost of Ophira moves in, making their way towards Kyrian. She is going to try and possess Kyrian. Yuiza, you probably don't see this because you're looking in the other direction, but Sulong, Diana, and Fisscourth would all see her reach out for Kyrian, trying to grab him the same way she did the ghost that she absorbed. With a 10, she succeeds. Kyrian goes limp and is considered incapacitated. He's lost control of his body. The Chimera's turn. Let me see if it gets its fire breath back. It does not. It's going to whip around onto you, Yuiza, and make its attacks against you. Does a 10 hit you?
It does not. She just kind of leans back, almost falling backward. She's like, whoa!
The dragon's head tries to clamp down on you, but you sidestep it. The creature sways its body, and the ram's head is next. But with a natural 1, it won't hit you either. Man, my monsters roll so badly. You do sidestep this creature. However, as you do, you sidestep directly into the tiger's claws. With its third attack, a 23 hits you, I believe.
That does not hit you. It does, yeah. You're looking for a 15.
You'll be taking 9 points of slashing damage. Up next, Diana moves closer towards the possessed Kyrian to shoot again. But again, it does not hit, even with Ophira piloting the body. The paladin is still in his armor. She will make a second attack, because apparently she has a multi-attack that I forgot about. And a 15, as she rapid fires, will not hit either. Up next, we have Fisscourth.
Oh dear. This might be a time for me to not stay back because that looked like it hurt, but I'm going to remain tactically wise and stay back and fire my crossbow once more, this time aiming for the lion's head.
Okay, please do.
I'm guessing a 12 doesn't hit.
It does not.
Rick, I'm just very nervous and shaken seeing Yuiza get hit, so it flies skyward. But I will take the rest of this turn to flutter, hover in air just 15 feet here. But yeah, I moved to hover behind a pillar just so I have cover just in case, but I'm flapping.
Mm-hmm. There is no pillar, there's only a pew. So...
Pew. See, it's a P word.
It's okay, no worries. So you can count that as half cover.
Sweet. That'll be my turn.
Top of round 3, Yuiza. Your turn. Sulong, you're on deck.
I'm going to attack it again, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to tell Arat. It seems she possessed him. I don't know what that does. This thing hurts very bad. And she's gonna try and hit the Chimera again.
Okay.
A 19.
A 19 hits.
Oh, thank God. That's going to be a total of 13 damage. Actually, it's going to be 14 because I forgot I have a +1 to damage rolls with this. And I'm going to attack with my offhand attack. Another 19.
That hits.
Yeah, so that's going to be a total of 3 then.
Okay. Up next, Sulong.
Sulong only knows one modus of operation, and it's to punch. I will punch. Adding power attack and advantage because I'm flanking with Yuiza. Natural 20 for a 26.
That hits.
Dealing 21 points of bludgeoning damage. I'm gonna use my bonus action to grapple. Because of my Zarin hybrid anatomy, I can use a bonus action to grapple after making a melee attack. Woohoo! My grapple is a 25.
It's an 11.
Like a dog on a on one of those tire swings. Arrgh.
Up next, we have Arat.
Alright, sustained witch bolt from my action. That's an 11
Okay.
of lightning damage.
What does it look like when this creature dies to your witch bolt?
I'm hearing like there's possession going over here. I'm trying to call over to Simonetta. I hear all the fighting, and I just flick my hand up and down. I just go, "Stay down!" And it's just like a bullwhip of lightning that just cracks through the air, tasing this thing, and it just slumps, smoldering. I think Sulong like has to like jump backwards before it collapses on top of him. I'm gonna use my full movement to walk right up to the possessed. Well, actually, I'm gonna walk between. I'll keep a little bit of distance on myself. Between Simonetta and Kieran. Hearing that he's possessed, I'm gonna keep a hand extended towards Simonetta, inviting, and then to Kieran, I'm gonna say, agree to let everybody go freely if you want to be released.
All right. Anything else for your turn?
That's it.
All right. Up next, Simonetta with Kieran neutralizes, enters combat. And does not enter combat because her sheet won't load. But she is there cheering you on. I hate everything tonight. Why is everything broken?
Does she make any kind of move towards me, like gesturing, like come with us, or is she just standing there going, "Yay"?
Yeah, she'll come over to you. You need to end him. He'll just keep doing this. He's done it before. And that will be her turn. Up next, Ophira.
Can she just start headbutting the throne to deal bludgeoning damage while she's possessing him?
Technically, she can. And I think we'll say that is what she does. Someone roll me a d6.
On it. Foe.
Ophira and Kieran will both take 4 damage.
Ah.
That will be her turn. Kieran is incapacitated. But you just hear this almost two-tone chuckle coming from his body. Unsettling. It's layered with his voice and Ophira's, echoing within the room. The Chimera down. Up next is Diana. Are we killing him? What are we doing?
A man that does not deserve to live.
All right, if you say so. And she is going to put another arrow into her bow. A 12 does not hit. He's still in armor. An 18 does not hit either. So she will use the rest of her turn to move in closer. Up next, Fisscourth.
I'm immediately going to swoop over to Yuiza because she took a pretty bad swipe. And I'm just going to land on her shoulders and cast Healing Word. I didn't need to touch her, but I felt like it. And you're going to get 5 hit points back.
Fantastic.
Now let's go beat that man senseless.
And as you say that, Fisscourth, you hear the clop, clop, clop of Precious Stinky Boy slowly moving up behind you all as well. Still at a distance, but not letting you and Yuiza out of sight. Up next, Yuiza with Sulong on deck.
Yuiza is going to make her way. She will give a smile to Fisscourth as she's going to stalk her way up and cast Eldritch Blast. She gets angry at this man who, so I'm rolling real bad today, so they don't hit, but we'll say it goes with her anger that is just taking people and ripping them away from their families and not caring what happens, all to his own selfish wants and needs. That anger starts bubbling over. The magic goes a little haywire as it kind of starts hitting that throne next to him. And she is going to just keep moving forward. She'll dash with her bonus action.
Your shots go wide, and he's clearly aware of what's happening around him as Ophira is smashing his head into this stone throne. It's almost like his laughing at you gets louder, Yuiza. Up next, we have Sulong with Arat on deck.
I'm going to blitz past Fisscourth using my movement. And then use my bonus action to dash as per my barbarian subclass. May I headbutt the pew next to me to maintain rage?
I will allow it. Roll a d6 and take the damage. Since a d6 is what I was using for headbutt damage for Kieran, we'll keep it fair.
Cool beans. Looking up from the smash pew to Karen. Hey, Miss Ophira! Walking towards the water.
Up next, we have Arat.
I'm going to do scrying on my deck to see what the top 2 cards are, to see if I want to get rid of them or shuffle them or whatnot.
Okay.
Oh, I'm shuffling them. I want that. I was hoping for that second card. So with that, hearing Sulong say that, I say, oh no, allow me, and I'm going to draw the druid card. I'm going to shift to a crocodile. So it's just a albino crocodile with milky white blinded eyes in front of this dude as I take a step forward to close the gap on him. Does a 19 hit?
It does not.
Does not. Well, he's still blind, so he snaps and just comes a little bit short of the armor. As his tail just sort of whips back and forth.
Okay. Anything else?
Nah, can't do anything.
Nofira is going to once again force him to smack himself. Someone roll me that d6.
I rolled a 6.
Nofira forces him to smack himself once again against this chair. You see her form dissipate from his body, almost as if she herself has been knocked out, and she fades into nothingness. She has hit 0.
No!
You hear a laugh from Kyrian as he wipes the blood from his face. Up next, Diana. For her multi-attack, she'll pull back her longbow. The first one with a 14 does not hit. The second attack with an 11 does not hit as well. Her arrows glance off the armor of this paladin. Fisscourth, you're up next. You clearly saw your ally fade away to nothing. As a cleric, you know full well that possessions only last so long. Only so long as the ghost inside still has hit points. Ophira sacrificed herself to save you all, to give you time. What do you do?
We have to make that sacrifice worth it. I'm gonna flap my little wings as far as I can. It pains me a lot to cast, but I am going to cast Spiritual Weapon at this man.
Okay.
I'm guessing an 11 doesn't hit.
An 11 does not hit.
Yeah, it looks like I'm just struck. It's instinct. I go to cast it and just... damn it. And that'll be my turn.
Up next, we're at the top of the round with Yuiza. Sulong is on deck.
Yuiza is going to walk right up to this man, realizing what Ophira did to try and give him some time. And she is going to try and find a chink in his armor. 23!
That does hit.
I don't get sneak attack, but it hits. 7, and then I'm gonna do an offhand attack. It's a 12.
A 12 does not hit.
Yeah. But she's going to find that first chink in his armor and just slide a dagger between the armor plates. Just full anger in his eyes, seeing that Ophira sacrificed herself to give them this opportunity. She does not want to waste it.
Okay.
Is our ghost friend still inside of them?
Your ghost friend dissipated. She died.
Sulong is going to dash. I'll dash in front of him and power attack unarmed strike.
Okay.
Does a 25 hit?
That does hit.
16 points of bludgeoning damage. Part of my barbarian subclass is whenever I expend 10 feet of movement before attacking, I get to do an additional effect to this. As part of the same action, I get to try and shove him, and if it's successful, I deal 1d6 thunder damage.
18. So no. Or yes, it does. How far back does he go?
It is 10 feet, sorry.
Okay.
My bonus action to dash and just get right in his face. Well, this is only going to end one of two ways.
Arat, you were up.
There's just a very low guttural from the crocodile at Yuiza's feet as they do that lunge forward that crocodiles are wont to do. Does a 23 hit?
A 23 does hit.
Okay. 9 piercing damage, but he's also immediately grappled. And then because the last thing Arat heard before he went full crocodile was Sulong saying, drag him to the water, I want to use the rest of my movement as much as I can to drag this guy by his kneecap backwards.
All right. It'll be half your remaining movement.
That's cool. So I think I wind up about here then with him. So yeah, just big backward steps as his jaw is clamped right around his knee, piercing into the armor.
He's going to let you hold on to him, Arat. Does a 14 hit?
No, according to this stat block that I'm seeing for a crocodile.
Okay. And a natural 1 will not hit either. Up next is Diana. And she is going to move in a bit closer as well. She's keeping her bow at the ready and holding her shot in case he breaks free from you. Fisscourth, you are up next.
Gotta keep flying. We gotta make this worth it. I'm gonna hop along to Sulong to say, do you need any healing, dear, before we drag this man to the hells?
I'm the picture of health.
I'll leave you to it then. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. Up next, Yuiza. Was Sulong on deck?
Yuiza is going to move her way up behind this man, looking down at him as he's being dragged along. And she is going to try and sink her dagger into his flesh once more. That could have been said less ominously, sorry.
No, it's fine. You're trying to end it.
Pair of natural 18s for a 26.
That does hit.
It's a total of 21.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna do an offhand for this is 21 hit him.
A 21 does hit.
And it's gonna be a total of 4, an extra 4. And it's quite strange for those that were there to see Yuiza's reaction to accidentally taking a life. Here, her face is kind of cold. There's just nothing but disdain for this man as she keeps attacking him.
Up next, Sulong, back to you.
Sulong steps up the 10 feet. Let's say Ketherick. Okay. Gosh darn it.
Definitely not Ketherick.
Definitely not.
What are you doing?
I am melee attacking as best as I can.
Okay.
22 to hit.
A 22 does hit.
17 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
I would like to also grapple him.
I'm gonna say that with Arat already grappling him, you can do it, no problem.
I'm going to start pulling him with me. So please, could you move him down into that space next to Arat?
All right, anything else?
That is it for me, thank you.
Okay. Up next, Arat.
I'm gonna go ahead and take that movement then, as I drag him at this point, I believe, if all the way to the water then. I'm going to give Sulong enough of a heads up before I do this, but you just watch the crocodile body tilt to one side, and I just want to do a death roll for an improvised weapon attack with this guy. I can't do anything else. I don't know, like, does like battering him in the water do anything?
You would have to use one of the attacks on your sheet, but you can flavor it as that.
24. Natural 24, 24.
Okay, that does hit.
12 damage total.
as you pull him into the water and spin him Sulong, you hear him with his dying breath say, Shar's will be done. I return to my lady's side of Victor. And the temple around you begins to shake and crumble. And that is where we're going to leave it for this week. Good job killing Kyrian. Hopefully you can all get out. Thank you everyone so much for joining us this week. We will be back not next week. We'll be back in 2 weeks as I will be traveling next week. So same bat time, same bat channel. Come back and join us. Thank you to all our patrons and Twitch subscribers for your continued support. This show was made possible by listeners like you. Fisscourth was played by Abby. Arat was played by Zachary Vaudo. Yuiza was played by Alessa Vamp. Sulong was played by RJ. And your GM this evening was Sara Roberts. Luck and Chaos is recorded live on Thursday nights. If you'd like to join us for a live recording, check out hypegoblin.com/events for the full live schedule. Links to cast social media, third-party supplements used in the game, affiliate links, and the show's Patreon are available in the episode description. A Twist of Fate, Luck and Chaos theme by Sneakernet is available now on Bandcamp. Don't forget to like and review this episode on your platform of choice, and we'll see you all in the next one.